joined October 25th, 1979. I went to Cornwallis November 10th, 1979. I loved it. I loved it so much. The sound of 72 boots hitting the ground at one time and the pride in the uniform and the camaraderie. I think I've spent my life looking for that camaraderie again. Um, Even tried to help the church find camaraderie like that. Like we didn't always get along, but we had each other's back, and I missed that, and I loved it. I loved drill. I loved everything. Playing in the mud. I loved everything about the military. Um, when I joined, I had to qualify that. Um, and I went off to Borden for as a medical assistant first. The only hard part about that was saying goodbye to people I'd been together with for 6 months at that point between Cornwallis and trades training, as some went off to Ottawa, others Cold Lake, I believe, Halifax, and I went off to Germany. So I spent 3 months in Germany and came back, and I was posted to Halifax. And that was the start of what I would know to be the abuse in the military. Um, I didn't know what gay was or anything else when I joined. Just an aside, I don't call myself gay. I do not, because I don't believe in labels, and that doesn't mean others, that's opposed to others. I'm only speaking for me. And just an aside, a very dear friend of mine passed away many years ago. And she taught at Harvard and taught at McGill. And when at her funeral, her students from Harvard came to her graduation. And I've still kept in touch with one amazing ministry in Boston. And she asked me if she could send me the front page of the Boston Herald, Boston Globe, whatever the big newspaper is in Boston. I guess she was an important person in Boston. And so her wedding picture was up there, and she married same-sex woman. And the reporter said, well, have you ever dated a woman? And she said, no. Well, then do you consider yourself a lesbian? She said, no. And the next question was the obvious all of us would ask, then why did you marry a woman? And her answer has stayed with me since that day. I don't know the package God is going to send me love in. I don't know the gift that love will come to me in. So I'm hoping with all my heart, after all I've suffered through, I don't know the package. So I look forward to the gift that love will be sent to me in. I was working nights, and there was a pin in the door that you could push so nobody could get in, even with the key. And I was, as I said, on nights, and I just heard this god awful banging on my door, trying to sleep. And I got up, and it was two short-haired dudes in civvy clothes that introduced themselves as whatever and walked into my room. I'm going to say interrogated. I don't remember it all, because I'm somebody that if my back's to the wall, I will fight back. And so I fought, like I was just back from Germany, a month, maybe 2 months back from Germany. And they were throwing names out and who's sleeping with who and who's going out with who and who. And I'm like, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know these people. So I held my own. It was on my TQ5 course that started the downfall of me as a human being. I don't remember the course itself. They run a couple courses at once. And it was somebody I knew from Halifax who was on the following course than from me. And so I was graduating on my way to Ottawa. And this person came out, and I still remember the barracks to this day, 0125. And she called me over behind the barracks and started to strangle me, like I was on my very, very, very tippy toes, trying to keep it together, trying to understand what was happening. And I don't remember thinking like, oh, I should fall down, or I should do this, or I should try to fight. Like, I know fight, flight, or freeze. I don't think I did any one of them. I think I don't know what I did. But this is going to sound really absurd, but what broke my heart was not what I consider attempted murder. This other medic walked by and said, "What are you doing, so and so?" And the person answered, "I'm killing the queer." And that person who walked by said, "Go for it." And my heart dropped. And then as a result, like I went down. Because I couldn't understand it. Like I was like, how could somebody say go for it? And I've come to learn in my life, I guess for all of us get bitten by a snake at some time in our lives. And then we spend our lives chasing the snake and trying to find out why the snake bit us and trying to understand why are we really that bad a person that another human being would say, go for it? And so I've spent my life chasing that snake, chasing that memory, trying to understand how somebody could say that. And I guess I've come to the point in my life where I've said, you know what, it's time to focus on the poison, the shame, the guilt, all of it. Rather than chase the snake, I'll heal the poison. And I think we all have to come to that point. I went to Ottawa. I read my course reports, but I understand the behind the scenes story. So I see the course reports that say Private Steele or whatever was acting this way. I'm thinking, because you don't know what happened then. And so I got back to Shearwater with my fives, and the warrant said, good, put your remuster in, you're gone. We want you out of this trade, you're gone. And so I thought, yay, I'm going to finally be a Perry, physical education recreation instructor. At my time, there were about 500 men, maybe 27 women. It's elite trade. And I was the only woman on my course. And it was a nightmare. One day, I felt the boys came up and muckled onto me behind me, a few of them, and had my arms pinned behind me. Where another fella came up to me in front of me and exposed himself and started to hit me with his penis. And just kept saying, you want this, Sophie? You want this, Sophie, don't you? Are you one of those fucking dykes? I thought, wow, how do I deal with this? And the boys laughing and joking. And so the bang on the door to come back into the pool, I didn't know what to do. Like I had no choice but to go into the pool and just swallow the humiliation, swallow the shame, swallow the heartbreaks. The night before we graduated, I still carry the shame because I felt I did something wrong. One of the guys drove me home, and I don't remember it. It was an assault. And what I remember of it was him laughing, saying, I got the money. And I said, what money? Well, we made a bet who could get you. I thought, oh my God. And so I then got posted to Shelburne, but I was destroyed by that point. Like by that, all I could do was drink and go to my room, drink, go to my room, drink, go to my room. I did that for 3 years. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't have a friend in the world there. Probably the 3 loneliest years of my life. There was nothing left to me as a human being because I was chasing the snake. I was abused. I was assaulted. I was belittled. I was shamed. I was everything. And I didn't even know who I was. And so, and the sergeant at the end, my last year in Shelburne, drank a lot. There was another assault to somebody else, and I just thought, I'm done. I'm so done. So they posted me to Gagetown. The day I got there, I put my release in. I went to Toronto and I signed up to join the OPP. And then I went back off leave. But there is something very different about the sergeant major there, and something very different about the captain and the staff. And I started to flourish. Like I started to feel safe again. Like we worked hard, we partied harder. We didn't always get along, but I love them. I still do. My sergeant major is still in my life at 89. The captain's still in my life. He's the one in aside who called me when the purge stuff happened. And he said, you got to apply. And I said, I'm not bringing out those memories. And I remember them. I haven't forgotten anything. But they're tucked away. I don't need to go back there. And he said it as a joke, so don't take it wrong. But he said, oh, I think you misunderstood me, Corporal. That wasn't a request. That was a fucking order. And so I give thanks to him because he's the one who gave me the courage to speak. And really, it was him. And I'm grateful he's still in my life. So tragically, he got posted out, or he retired. The captain left. And the new captain we got in was nothing less than the worst person I've met in my life. Every day of my life, he walked by me and said, hey, pork chop. And one day I said, sir, why do you keep calling me pork chop? He said, well, where does fucking pork come from? I said, a pig. He says, well, pork chop. So every day I'm being called pig. And I went back to the way I was in Shelburne. I just went inside. I just started drinking again. I really lost all the friendships I had. I just didn't even want friendships. I got tired, and he'd come in. I was working in the pool, and he'd come into the pool, say, I'm going to get rid of you, fucking queer. I'm going to get rid of you. And so you can imagine my morale. I just went straight down and further down to the point I think I was trying to attempt suicide every day. I just did not want to live with the shame and the guilt, and not understanding why. Like, in my own mind, was I really that bad a person that I had to be called pig every day of my life? Was I that bad a person that these guys, and that's the military culture, can assault a woman and make a bet on it? Was I that bad a person that somebody could assault me with their penis and I have to get back in the pool as if nothing's wrong? Or that somebody can say, go ahead, kill this person and keep walking. I don't care. So I just, one day, the captain called me in and said, go home at lunch, put your DEUs on. You're going to go meet the colonel at 1. I said, okay. And then I went into the colonel admin's office in Gagetown. And he said to me, I'm releasing you immediately. You're not the type of soldier I want. And my career was over just like that. 15 years gone. And so I packed up. I lived in my car. The church didn't even want me. It was the scariest time and the most shameful. Like, could I have gone home to my mom? No, I already was carrying so much shame in this backpack of all the emotions that I hid and drank away for so long. I couldn't even face my family. And so, I mean, by the grace of God, I pulled myself up and got 4 university degrees and tried to make a difference. Don't know if I have, but I try. And, it was a promise, because I'm a Christian, it was a promise to God that I dedicate my life to others, to have them not go through what I did. And I'm not talking the physical assaults, I'm talking the emotional. That we have to stop chasing the snakes. We're okay, we're good people. And one day for my life, I will receive a package, a gift, and I don't know what the package is going to come in, but I will receive a package of somebody loving me. And that would be a gift.